Okay, here's problem number 5 off the volume section. We have a right cylinder, and it has a radius of 5 and a height of 2. Well, that's all cylinders have. So you're ready to go. You just look up your formulas. The lateral area is pi times the radius, pi RL, is 2 pi times the radius, 5 times the height, 2. That's just 20 pi. And you're welcome to leave the answer there. If you do approximate it as a decimal, 62.8. The total surface area, well, you've got to find the base. The area of the base is pi r squared. Well, actually, let's see. It probably says this on the cylinder formula, that the total surface area is 2 pi RH, which we just figured out, that was the lateral, plus 2 pi r squared. So that's going to be what we just figured out, was that 20 pi was the 2 pi RH plus 2 pi times 5 squared. Well, that's going to be 20 pi plus 2 times 25 pi is 50 pi. We get 70 pi. That's a good answer, or if you want to change it to decimal, 219.9. And for the volume, again, you just look up the formula. It's pi times the radius squared, which in this case would be pi times 5 squared, times 2. 5 squared is 25, times 2 is 50. This is 50 pi. You can leave it like that or take it to a decimal. As a decimal, it's 157.1. Please don't miss these problems. The formulas are there, and I gave you everything that was needed in the formula. Okay, on our next problem, we have a right cylinder. And in this right cylinder, number 6, again, it's a cylinder. Right just means that it stands straight up. It has a height of 4, and its lateral area is 80 pi. Okay, now the lateral area of a cylinder is 2 pi RH. And all the problem wants is to find R. So we're going to put 80 pi in for L and set that equal to 2 pi times the radius that we're trying to find times the height that we already knew was 4. That's going to give us 80 pi equals 8 pi R. Pi is just a number. You can divide by it. So we'll divide by 8 pi. What will happen then is we'll get all these lovely cancellations. The pi's will just cancel out. On the right, the 8's will cancel out, leaving only R. And on the left side, 80 divided by 8 is 10. And that's the answer to the question. On problem number 7, we have a cone. And the cone has a radius of 6 and a height of 8. Well, you should know that in a cone has a radius, it has a height, and like a pyramid, it has a slant height. And what you have then is radius squared plus height squared equals slant height squared. So the first thing that's asked for in this number 7 is the slant height. So that'll be 6 squared plus 8 squared equals L squared. That's going to solve out to be the square root of 100, which is 10. 10 is your answer for the slant height. Okay. For the lateral area. The lateral area, capital L, is pi RL. And we already know that R is 6, and we just found L to be 10. That's 60 pi. Good answer. If you want to do a decimal, that's 188.5. And for the volume is 1/3 pi r squared. That would be pi times 6 squared times the height. And the height was given at 8. That works out to be 96 pi, or approximately 301.6. But you're welcome to leave it back there at 96 pi if you like. On problem number 8, it asks us, how many cubic inches are in a cubic foot? Well, a cubic foot is a cube that's 1 foot or 12 inches in each dimension. So the volume of any box can be done by length times width times height. Remember, length times width is just area of the base, so that's the same as saying area of the base times height. In this case, that's 12 times 12 times 12. So your answer, the volume in cubic inches, is 1,728 cubic inches. Number 9 is almost an identical problem. I'm just going to erase and change some things here. We're dealing with a cube again. This time, instead of being 12s, it has an edge of length 3. So I'll put 3's there, change the problem number over here to 9, and we'll be good to go. Well, you know, for volume, I could just use length times width times height again, and so it's the same as last time, except this time it's, instead of 12 times 12 times 12, it's 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. Okay, to get the total surface area, there are a couple ways that you can do it. If you go the way that we've done it before, then the base would be a square that's 3 by 3. The perimeter of the base would be 4 times 3 is 12. The area of the base would be 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, the lateral area is perimeter times height. Perimeter times height would be 12 times 3 is 36. The total surface area then, T, is the lateral plus 2 bases. Okay, so that's the lateral, which is 36, plus 2 times 2 times 9, which is 18. And that's going to give you 54 for your total surface area. Okay, last page of the test here. All right. So, what do we have here? We have a hexagonal pyramid, and it wants to know what segment's length is the height. I think what I'll do is come back and I'll do 12 through 18 because I won't be able to look at the picture. And we'll just skip to 21 because there was no picture for it. So here's 21. We're finding the total surface area. We scratched out the end volume. For a regular square base pyramid, the base area is given at 400 and the height is 3. Well, it's a square base pyramid, so if the area of this base is 400, then that must have come by taking a side length times a side length, or side length squared is equal to 400. Taking the square root then has to be the square root of 400, which is 20. We now have our side lengths. Now, that means that the perimeter of our base, if we need that somewhere, the perimeter of our base is 4 times 20, 4 sides 20 each, is 80. And we're going to need the apothem. So remember, in a square-based pyramid only, we can find the apothem. These S's were 20s, remember. The apothem is just half a base edge. So it's half of 20, it's 10. So the thing that we want to do here is remember that the apothem, which we just found out to be 10, the height, which we know is 3, and the slant height are related by the Pythagorean theorem. So we have 3 squared plus 10 squared equals L squared. That's going to give us L at the square root of 109. Okay, we are ready to get the area of the base. Well, I guess we have the area of the base already. We're ready to get the lateral area. The lateral area, it's 1/2 the perimeter of the base, 80, multiplied by the slant height, 1/2 PL. So that would be the root 109 that we just figured. And the total surface area then is that lateral number up there plus 400, which is the area of the base. So if we do the math, we take the 1/2 80 times root 109 and we add 400 to it, we're going to get our answer here that the total surface area is 817.6. And we'll come back with one more video which will handle problems 12 through 18, and we'll be done.